Good morning, welcome back to the van build series. It's a wet day in Sydney. It's been quite a dry winter, so I actually do like the rain, so it's a nice pleasant surprise for me. With the electrical systems that we worked on yesterday, I ended up changing the circuit breaker. It seems to be working fine now. May have just been a faulty one that I bought. With the water pump, I have connected that up. I haven't connected the fan just yet, and I'm not going to at this stage. Reason for that is because I have to rewire this box again, because I realized that I need to drill a hole in the kitchen cabinetry so that I can run the cables up into that hole and out. Yeah, so I'm not gonna worry about the electrical box at the moment. So because it's raining, I actually forgot to waterproof the inlet where the solar power and the water tanks go in. It's too wet for me to do it now, so I'm just going to cover it at this stage, and we'll waterproof it tomorrow if it's not raining. The water tank, oh yeah, that's right. So because it's raining, I might start the caps for the water tank. So we've sealed this end, but the other end is still open. So I might get started on drilling the holes for that, and we'll do some of the grey water drilling as well. Yeah, so let's get started on that. I'm going to start on the grey water tank. So I'm just going to screw the end bits in. I'm not going to water seal it. There's no point, since it's going to be outside the vehicle anyway. It doesn't matter if it drips a little bit. No one's going to notice it. So let me secure those in. I probably won't. Yeah, I won't secure this bit in just yet, because I need to drill into it. So this is what it looks like. Got the hoop, and I'll put the pipe here to secure it on, and then I can just tighten it. I'm going to get started on drilling the hole from inside the cabin to underneath the van. I've just realized that the smallest hole drill bit is actually pretty much the perfect size for this hose. So I might not use the cover, the flange, because it is a little bit bigger to start off with anyway. So I'll use the smaller one if that doesn't work, or if I make a mistake, then I can go to the bigger one. So it just gives me a second chance, basically. I've had a look under the car. I don't really know any way to measure it accurately, so I'm just going to estimate about here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I've turned the electricity on because I'm using this drill with the battery that I've got. I'm actually interested to see what the voltage spike will be by using a high power. Yeah. So this is 650, which isn't extremely high, but it's a lot more than a computer or kitchen appliance. So yeah, I'm just wondering if the voltage will drop. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. So where did I say about here? The guy at the hardware store did say to use it on a very slow speed. That's as slow as it goes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it bit by bit, I think. So the drill bit did go through the metal. Let's hope the cutter does as well. Okay, it's very hot. It has actually worn down the blades. So the blades have gotten flat. It did slightly cut into it. Keep trying. It's not really working, so I am just going to drill with the biggest drill bit that I have. I might get the jigsaw to see if we can do it with that. So that's nowhere near the size that I need it to be. Okay, so this is as far as I can go with the jigsaw. I can't maneuver it around to get the closer bits. So what I'm going to do is get some medium size drill bits and drill a series of holes around that edge, and hopefully I can push it through. So that's the series of holes that I mean. Let's see what I can cut that. Okay, that seems to have worked. Cool. I'm just going to file it down so it's a bit smoother, it doesn't get jagged, and cut the hose. Okay, great. It looks like the drill bit trick did work. So let's just make sure, yep, that fits fine. I've just finished pushing down the pipe on the other side. I'm not going to cut it just yet because I don't know how far the kitchen will come out. I'm pretty sure it's about here, but it might be a bit further. So I'm not going to cut the pipe just yet. We'll run it through and attach it to the grey water, but we'll leave the length for now. just run the grey water pipe down along there, under there, and I've kind of just left it at the moment. It's too wet for me to go under there at the moment and secure it on, so I'm just going to leave it for now, and we'll get started on the water filtration. This is the water filtration system. It's only got 2 stages, so it's not a 3-stage or a reverse osmosis one. With the bigger ones, the 3-stage and the reverse osmosis, you can use any water, including like river water, and it'll filter it out. This one, it's okay with like tap water and stuff like that, but not with bore water. So this removes sediments, taste, odor, 5 micron. Anyway, it's not the one that you can just use bore water or river water. You need to have some sort of filtration from the water source. Most gas stations in Australia, which is more than likely where I'm going to be filling up, will have some sort of treatment. So I'm not overly worried about that. On this specific trip, I'm not going to be doing any outback touring, so anything off sealed roads. This van isn't a 4-wheel drive, so I can't do that anyway. On a future date, I might do that if I do end up selling this van. So this should be fine for the purposes that I need it for. It's meant to go in a house, so a lot of the fittings are for house plumbing. I did actually just check to make sure that the hot water system, even if I don't use the hot water system, if I end up just using a tap, it does actually fit. So they're the same. They're the same type width. So basically, this valve here, it's just a double adapter. So your mains water goes in there and then comes out here to your tap, and then it's got this double adapter here. So this is where the water filtration water will come from. So the tubing is a lot smaller than a tap one, but it doesn't need to be big. I am going to head up to the hardware store so I can get screws. I don't know what they're called. Whatever it is, the fitting for the pipes that I'm going to be using, I need something this length that can attach to the pipe, the tubing that I've got. So I'll head up there and have a look what I can find. I'm a little bit confused with this first instruction though. It says remove the plastic wrap from around the filter cartridges before placing it in the housing. I don't actually see any plastic, and I don't think this thing comes off. Unless it just means like this plastic that it came in. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll just skip that step and see if it actually does work. If there's plastic in there, it's gonna just overspill. Yeah, okay, let's go up to the hardware store. Actually, I am going to leave you on charge here. Back from the hardware store, I ended up getting this valve. It's called a union connection. I don't know. Anyway, it's just a screwy thing, but it comes with this plastic bit. So I am going to put this tubing in the, I think it goes like this. Yeah, so I'm going to put this tubing in like this and then seal it on like that. Okay, and then this fits in here. Cool, easy. So I have plugged this hose into the water pump. I just want to test and make sure it's working, but I also want to check and make sure that it doesn't leak, because I don't know, this doesn't seem very secure to me. Let's give it a go. Okay, that's very surprising to me. Okay, we'll continue on then. I keep forgetting that once the water comes through, it starts siphoning out. I'm just going to put the hose end in to stop it from leaking any water. So it says the first job is to actually mount it on somewhere. It says that this, so it's got 2 screws and a washer, and this washer is supposed to go in the back, like that, but there's not actually anything on the back to secure it onto. I don't know, it doesn't seem that important. Okay, let's mount it. I will put it there. There's enough space for me to get to the outlet. Okay, that's nice and secure. This all the sockets that the tubing goes into has these white and blue bits here. So the instructions are saying that this is a locking mechanism. So when you push the tubing in and slightly pull it out, it locks it into place so it doesn't come out. So I don't think you can make mistakes on this one. Oh no, you can disconnect it. There's just a special way to do it. Alright, so there's a piece of tube that goes from the water mains and this pressure valve. There's an arrow on it to show which way goes to the tap. So the water flows out from here, arrow's going that way, and it's pushing out that way. So push and then slightly pull. Ah, that was easy. Alright, so the other end goes in here. There's the out tube. Push, pull. It's a bit odd because it doesn't click when you reach the end or anything, but it is quite firm. Alright, so I might actually mount this now, just so that it doesn't move and I know how much cord is required. So to mount the piping for the water, I've just got these brackets. They're just U-shaped brackets, and I will put them up against the wall like this. I've mounted the brackets on, just 3 of them, but I think this is a good place to have the all the outlets coming out of. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so I've connected one end to the hose thing, the shower outlet, and the other to this. I've just secured this a bit better within the metal part rather than the vinyl tubing, so that's not going anywhere. I think I might secure this as well, just to stop it from moving around everywhere. Okay, so it says to connect the outlet from here to the tap, but I'm not going to do that at this stage because I don't know the length of the cable where I'm going to be mounting it just yet. So let's do everything but join that. So that should be done now, except for the tap. So let's test it out. Hopefully there's no plastic in there. I'm gonna try pushing the vinyl tubing past this pressure limiting point, just to give it a seal, which I have done. And then on this end, I'm going to put some plumber's tape, although I forgot to put this in. No! Okay, let's try that once more. Let's see what happens. It's not leaking, which is good. Oh, excellent. It's coming out. Excellent, so we have a water filtration system now. I might just do a little bit of a cleanup, and then, what time is it? I think we got quite a bit of time. Yeah, we've still got a few hours actually. So it's still too wet underneath for me to mount the grey water tank, because I need to like secure it on and find something to actually attach it to. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put metal strapping on there. So I'm gonna clean up the inside of the cabin, and then we'll go up to the hardware store and then pick up some wood, and we'll start the framing for the kitchen. So I think I mentioned it either yesterday or the day before. The kitchen's going to have two parts. One part is stationary, so it's not going to move at all, and the other part is going to slide out. So the stationary part is going to be here, what's along this wall. The reason for that is I can't put a sliding thing here. It's gonna get caught on this. So I need to basically follow this line here, where the slide out bit can go. So I think we can probably do the stationary part at the moment, at least get some measurements and hopefully get a structural frame up. But yeah, let me clean this up first. While I'm at the hardware store, I'm gonna see if I can get an alternate for the cable, something to hold it together. The conduit tubing is just way too hard to cut through, so I might just see if I can get like Velcro or something, some sort of tubing that I can wrap it in. I'm I'm back from the hardware store. I got some wood. um, sorry. um, I'm going to put this smaller one as the bench top. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this particular bench top and why I chose this one. Basically, it is a good medium between the white and the grey, and it is fairly cheap compared to all the others. The length of it, I was tossing up whether to get a 1.8 or 1.2, which are the standard sizes. I kind of like the idea of the 1.8 because it would extend all the way to the water pump, but I opted for the 1.2. I will probably get a secondary piece for the rest of it, and for the corner bit here, but for now I'm just using the 1.2. So I wanted to cut this wood into two sections so that I could have them hinged. I don't think I will have the time to do it because it's extra framework, the supporting legs framework. So I'm just going to leave it as one piece. In future I can do it if it's not suitable, but we'll just have it as one piece for now. I'm still going to have it on hinges so that I can lift it up and put storage underneath it, but yeah, for now let's just leave it as one. With the framework, so I just got some pine. There's two different kinds here. This one is thicker than this one, so it's about twice as thick. And these are going to be the legs and what holds the weight of anything that goes on top of it. This is mainly just to support the bench top. This bench top is wider than I need it to be, so I'm going to have to cut it down to shape. Pretty sure it's slightly too big, but I need it in line with this wheel arch. So I'm gonna get started on that, but before I do that, I need to assess the height that I'm gonna have it. So my calculations said that the height should be between 40 and 50 centimeters, but I need to make sure that the fridge fits in that specification, along with the sliding hinge, like the sliding rails. I forgot to get it, but I did have a look at it. It was about that thick, so it's thicker than this, but so I think I'll use two of these as measurements for the rail. Yeah. And we'll see how much higher the fridge goes. I also need to take that into account. I'm just thinking that the gas top, I think that would only matter if I was going to put the fridge right underneath it, which I don't think I will. No, let's not. Yeah, so let's just measure up the height of the fridge. This is the fridge that I bought. It's a Dometic thermal electric fridge. It does both cooling and heating, which is very odd to me. But it does work. I have actually tested it out, and it cools it down really well. I was really surprised. Yeah, I think I had it on for about 15 minutes, and everything was cold, which I was really surprised about. The hinge on it was actually damaged on delivery, but they did send me another one, replacement one. But it's plastic. It's a plastic hinge, and I'm afraid it's going to break again. So I think I will probably get metal ones from the hardware store at some point. But so this fridge it's not huge at all. It's 14 liters. It doesn't sound like much at all. But for what I need it for, I think it's more than enough. I will show you what it looks like. So actually, just before I do show you, this is actually a 12 volt. It's got a 12 volt charge on it as well. So you can plug it into either the wall socket or a 12 volt, like the cigarette charger accessory slot. So it is very efficient at power. This thing hardly uses any power at all, which is great for what I need. And I really like the design as well. So this fridge was $187, I think. So it wasn't overly expensive. I could have gotten a mini bar fridge, which would have been roughly the same price, but it would have had more storage capacity. But they drain a lot of power. They're not power efficient at all. This thing is very good. Yeah, so I do like the cute retro design as well. So as I said, the hinge is broken here. But yeah, it's not huge. It's enough for me to store like some meat, some vegetables or pickles or whatever, and milk and some condiments. I'm pretty sure we'll be right with this. It's not like I need to be storing meat for days on end. I'll only be buying it when I need it. Most of the food that I'll cook will probably be vegetarian anyway, but every now and then I'll want some protein. So it's perfect for what I need it for, and since I'm traveling alone, I don't need it to be any bigger. If I have guests every now and then, it should still be big enough for 1 or 2 days. Yeah, so that is the fridge. It's got the 12 volts. One of the design flaws that I did see on this was that the switches is at the back. So if you want to change it from cold to hot, you have to do it you have to take the fridge out and do it and then slot it back in. I'm not going to use the heating function at all. I don't see the point to it. I will cook my food fresh anyway. But you know, it is a design flaw. They should have had it at the front somewhere. Anyway, so let's go ahead and measure this up. Oh, I forgot to mention the reason I need to measure this up. So this isn't going on this wall at all. It's going in the movable part of the kitchen. But the reason I need to measure this up now is so that the two halves of the kitchen will be flat and in line. So I need to know how high the movable part of the kitchen is going to be before I start making this one. So it's 44 centimeters high. Okay, I need to measure up the bed side as well. Okay, so the maximum for the bedding area will be 50 centimeters. So I think we'll go with the 50 centimeter measurement. Yeah, we'll go with that. And if I run into any issues, I'll work around them as usual. I did have another idea of actually mounting this up against the wall, but I would prefer not to do that. Okay, so I know that the maximum height for this kitchen is 50 centimeters. With the length, so this wood is actually the same length as the bench top. So I'm going to use this as a measurement, and yeah. So if you can see on that side, it's pretty much just after the arch, the wheel arch. So with that side, there is space between the LPG pipe and the wheel arch for me to, yeah, so I can put the framework there in there. And any excess I can put there. I can move around the pipes for the water, but I can't do that with the LPG. So I'm more concerned in fitting it in that side than I am on this side. Okay, let's measure out the width, and I think we're ready to go. 24 centimeters. Okay. So this wood is 300. So okay, great. So I was just measuring the width. It's 300 millimeters, which is what the sign says. But these planks This one's actually thicker than the others, but this one here, it's 2450, so I might use this line here as the cutting point, because the blade's about 3 millimeters as well. I was just thinking of the best way to build it, whether I should do the frame first and then put the thing on top, or do it backwards. Usually you do it the frame first. Actually, we will do that because the top is going to be hinged anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the frame. With the frames, I'm just going to keep it simple. So have 4 long pieces, a rectangle like this to hold that flat, and then the thicker ones, coming up like this in square frames. I'm just thinking, because I'm going to have the bed on top of it as well, it will need to be able to support that weight as well. I think it should be fine with both the kitchen pieces. Actually, I can test that out. I can just sit on it and see if it collapses. But yeah, let's just build it. One other thing I forgot to mention, when I did my calculations, when I did the design plans, the reason I had maximum of 50 was, one, because of the headroom of the lounge, which that happened to be accurate, but the other one was actually obstruction of the rear view window. So I've just measured it again, and it's 700 millimeters, which will give me 500 here, and I believe the sink, which is going to be raised, is 15. It's 14 and a half. So that will give me, it won't obstruct the rear window, even with the sink in the way. So yeah, maximum height 50. Finishing up for the day. It's getting a bit late, and the rain is coming and going. I did manage to finish the top frame. I just need to sand it off because this wood is slightly a bit too big, so I just need to even it off, and then I can put the top on. I will build the legs for it tomorrow as well. Oh, one other thing, I had a look under the van to see where I can mount the grey water tank, and I do have a suitable place to put it. but I need to get the brackets first. But I think I will put a empty tank valve on it, because the way it's going to be mounted, it's going to be leaning, so the water can just drain out. Cool, so I will head up to the hardware store first thing in the morning and pick up some supplies, and we will continue on with the kitchen. Thanks again for joining.